Methylpolysiloxane. I'll take these out. Oh, good day, family. Good day, and it's so good to see you again. It seemed like it's been forever, at least a couple of months, and I know it's been like maybe 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. Oh, honey, I don't know where to start with y'all. I think I keep it on track though, but it's so much going on. Mm, I just want to say that Black people are staying on code. We linking up with each other. Continue doing what you're doing, working on your garden, teaching them babies. Work on your garden, teach your babies. Try to learn as much as you can. Keep your prepping up. Always keep working on your prepping and stuff. Make sure you and your household are, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because what's going on in the world is going to go on. It's going to go on. Just try to keep your connections with it, but still focus on what you got to do for you and yours. Because ain't nobody going to come to the rescue and feed your babies or your grandbabies. You going to have to make sure your household got the warmth that they need, the food that they need, the water that they need. You're going to have to be responsible for it. Like for me and mine, I'm gonna have to be responsible for that. I ain't gonna be able to go out and ask nobody, hey, can you give me some foods? You got anything you can spare out of your pantry? That's not gonna be the case for any of us. So yeah, just do what you got to do. It's hard to be it's easy to be distracted. It's hard to stay focused on this sometimes. But when you put it around you, that's all that's around you. It's hard to lose focus of it. It's hard to lose focus of it. Once you keep it in your mind's eye, that's why I like to put everything up around me in my space. I don't care if I ain't got nothing but a corner. It ain't gonna have what everybody else's corner got, what everybody else's space got. I'm gonna keep what I need around me. I'm not gonna wake up and the first thing I see is something distractive. I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want my home to be run like that. I want to have what I need right there, accessible. Whether it's what I need to eat, what I need to be reading, what I need to be watching, what I need to be taking in. It need to be right there so I can keep up. Because you'll wake up and before you know it, you're looking at reality shows. And that's a day long experience for some of us. Once we get on them shows and stuff, it's hard to get off of them. And it can be the same way with the internet, with TikTok and Instagram. And if your algorithm, I'm saying that, if your algorithm ain't right, you'll spend your whole day, hours, just scrolling through stuff. That's why it's very important that, we let our family and our friends know. So their algorithm can get on code and stuff also. But yeah, I got two, so we finna go on and read because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish reading this book or the other book. Because even though I do the copyright reading, there is some conflict for me if I'm reading it properly. I don't read it word for word because, I put my own words in there. I go off on my own little commentary, but as far as the book go, I might miss the word the or the word and, or some little words like that and stuff. So I don't know how that's affecting my channel and stuff. So I just really ain't even been worried about it and stuff. I've been having other things to do anyway that I need to do. It just don't seem to be enough time. Between my 12 and 12, and then there's my work, what little sleep I do get, and then I still be researching a lot of stuff too. But I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see. We may do chapter 7 and not do chapter 8. Maybe I just do a little bit of each one. I'm gonna have to reach out to somebody. I guess I'm forced. I'm gonna have to reach out to somebody and see how does this actually go. Because I like to read it with you all. I don't like to read it and then come and read it to you all. That's not how I sat down reading. But if that's how I have to do it and stuff, then I pick certain parts out of the books to read. I don't know. Beat the hell out of me. As long as I was reading, I thought that was okay. And you do the comment, the copyright disclaimer. Oh, I hope I ain't forgot that motherfucker. But let's see. The copyright disclaimer 107 under Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or let me get my paper here. Or something infringes. Yeah, it threw me off when I was trying to think about it. But I'm gonna have to find out how much can I read when I'm reading these books. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I can't forget it too long. I can't go too long without saying it and stuff. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But so we're just gonna go ahead and go with chapter 7. I don't know if I'll be able to do chapter 8. I might as well. I'm at the end of this book. And as far as Stamped from the Beginning, that's a thick book. I had intended on reading the whole book, but I think I need to see. And if that's the case, then I'll just pick some chapters out of it. But that seemed when I read a book, I like to finish the book. I forgot who it was. Had said when you start a book or a movie or something, try to finish it. Because especially when you're young, your youngsters and your babies and stuff, because you don't want them to get into the mindset of not finishing their books and their movies or homework or their chores or whatever like that. So I really don't like to. That's kind of like going from the back of the book and then reading that last chapter and then going back to that first chapter. It's neither here nor there. I just want to make sure that I'm at least following the right protocols for this. Chapter 7, practicing group politics. Transform weakness into power by getting others to play with cards that your group deals. Transform weakness into power by getting others to play with cards that your group deals. And this is still POWERNOMICS, chapter 7, and chapter 8 is the last chapter. And so we'll see. I'll see what I'm gonna do and stuff. And this is by Dr. Claud Anderson. Oh, I did write out some. I'll show those later though. When I had the babies, that's when I had done that. Having examined the historical nature of Black America's wealth and power dilemma and how Blacks can construct an alternative economic structure, we now turn our attention to the next logical step: how to use the political process to redistribute wealth and resource power into our own hands. The strategies for solution arise out of the nature of politics and its role. How to use the political process to redistribute the wealth and resource power into our own hands, which was the maldistribution number 1. The distribution of wealth. Maldistribution number 2 was inappropriate behaviors, our inappropriate behaviors. And maldistribution number 3 was the lack of a national plan, which is what this is. This is our national plan. Politics, as we know it, is relatively new. The word and concept first appeared in English around 1529 with the beginning of Black enslavement and the early stages of industrialism. The term politics was borrowed from an old French word, politique, P-O-L-I-T-I-Q-U-E. And it emerged from the struggle to control the increased spoils of power and wealth produced by Black slavery. The term politics was borrowed from an old French word, politique, and it emerged from the struggle to control the increased spoils of power and wealth produced by Black slavery. So, out of the politics that we know, Democrats and Republicans, it's the fight for us. They both fighting each other for us, for control of us. Modern social scientists, philosophers, and politicians define politics in whatever way suits their purposes or fancies. In espousing their views, they most often define politics as the art of compromise or the art of the possible. However, for our purpose, these definitions are meaningless. They say nothing about the real nature of politics and the rulers of the game, the rules of the game. In the real world, politics can best be defined as a process that decides who gets what material benefits out of life. Politics is about power. It decides who has food, income, education, shelter, heat, and health care. It allows the nation's political elite and overclass to play gatekeeper. They dispense resources on a trickle-down basis. Those who are the closest to them at the top get the lion's share first. Those on the bottom get the last and the least. In a competitive society, there is little, if any, incentive to look out for an underdog group. Blacks are the out group, and they can rest assured that the overclass will make all the political decisions in their own best interests, rather than the interests of Black Americans. Oh, my ancestors. That's kind of like what just happened. Everybody voted for what they thought was their own best interest because they truly felt like the only ones who were going to feel this, the voices from the vote, the vices from this vote, would be Black people. So everybody voted in their own best interest, which they thought it was, which was Trump, and that was not the case. Whoa, yeah, that's what people do. And we voted in our best interest and other people's best interest, except for the few of us that did vote for Trump. And you know how I feel about it. I feel that, somebody in their life, their spouse, maybe where they are, their employment or something, didn't let them use their discernment. It cut off their ability to use discernment, to decide for themselves, to critically think about what this could mean, what this could mean. We always got to ask, what could this mean for our people? That's what I do. That's what I do on a huge scale. When I'm making decisions, I want to know, well, how this going to affect Black people? I know I'm going to be all right with it because, hey, I ain't got to wear Louis Vuitton. But what this going to mean for other Black people? I'm okay with having, just the basics. I'm okay with just my hair, just my nails, just my oatmeal and what cilantro in there. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just some water and some clothes. Maybe I want to put a lemon peel in it. Maybe I want to put some hibiscus in it. Put a little mint in it. I'm okay with that. I don't have to have the Cokes and the sodas and the Pepsis and all of them and stuff. But we just have to ask, what does this mean for our people? The rules of the game. And this book, we 20 years behind with this book. I am. And I'm hoping when I get to the end of this book, or as much as I can read under the new circumstances, that when I do find our people, I might have to ask Chat to help me. And I find our people that's actually working with this, and we can just go ahead. They already doing the legwork. We just got to catch up with them. That's what I'm hoping and looking for my outcome with this. Reading POWERNOMICS. Because we need a solution. We got them. We working on them. We critically thinking today. Black people are thinking for ourselves, our family, our future. We thinking for our children's safety, finally. So I'm hoping that when we're done with this right here and I find our people, and a couple have been reading this book, like On the Shoulders of Giants. They had read this book, and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know I was going to end up reading the book to see how it actually goes and stuff. Or can I do it my way? But, that's neither here nor there right now. But the rules of the game. Black Americans have always been excluded from playing politics by the official rules of the game. Every time we sought to play by the rules, the rules changed or the game ended before we had a chance to play. Therefore, rather than continue to be like a dog chasing its tail, we need to simply step back and look outside the box. In the action steps outlined in this chapter, we suggest ways in which we should alter our behavior or change the accepted rules of politics. But in all instances, we must adhere to the fundamental rule of our politics, quid pro quo. Yeah, QUIDPROQUO. It means something for something. Or at a more familiar level, it means you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Those who invest their time, their energy, and their resources in support of a political issue, candidate, or political party expect to be compensated in a manner that is equal to their investments. And see, that's why when I put in words like those who invest their time, energy, and resources, I may say their time, their energy, and their resources, because it gives me a little better flow when I'm reading. So no, I'm not reading it word for word for word for word. And I hope that right there is enough, that I haven't, overstepped any boundaries. Just being here and all. Yeah. Figure 17. It took us 400 years to get to this piece of paper. Look at that. Ain't that powerful right there? Ain't that powerful right there? You know the next power move that we need to make? We need our own political party. Our own political party, not nobody else's. Everything already going to hell. When is it going to be the right time? When, I think I asked somebody, maybe, possibly, maybe I was dreaming. I don't even remember my dreams like that, but I did bring it up once years ago. Why don't we start our own political party? And somebody said it wasn't the right time. But when is the right time to start our own political party, to revive our own political party? Because we've had our own parties. I'll go through them tonight or tomorrow. I'll find them and I'll go through them. It was only a couple, maybe one or two. But just to take those and revive them would be a start. In America, this rule of politics applies to everyone except Black people. The primary reason for Black Americans being an exception stems from structural racism and various community pressures and attitudes that set them apart as a political subculture. Political subcultures are typically minimally integrated, and out of fear of losing their lowly status, they do not resist being treated as subjects. Lacking population numbers, wealth, and leadership, they reject dissent and passively follow the majority society, even though they may gain only very small benefits. This is especially true in the case of Black Americans, who traditionally support white candidates and their political parties out of a sense of obligation. History does not show any instances in which Black Americans have been compensated on a quid pro quo basis for the political, the cultural, or the economic contributions they have made. When? History does not show any instances where we've been compensated for nothing. So I just want to know from y'all, when? If not now, when? I mean, who you gonna try to reason with? We can't even reason with these people. When Robot City hit, then went from Chocolate City to Robot City. Your ass. You ain't gonna be able to reason with Sophia now. You ain't gonna, not even having our own political party gonna leave us more as an outcast. Who gonna speak on our behalf then? Who gonna allow you to speak on our behalf then? And then if they do allow you, who's to say it's going to be that those words, that advice, those concerns are going to be put out to the masses? It's going to be beneficial for us. Nobody. I don't see how y'all could let this shit happen. Hell, you just sat there and rolled along with everything. The worst part of this picture is that Black America has not demanded a quid pro quo relationship. Why the fuck Black America has not demanded a quid pro quo relationship in explaining how Cuban refugees in Miami were able to economically and politically surpass and subordinate Black people in Miami within 1 decade. That's 10 years. A Cuban told me, we are not like Black people who always march, demonstrate, and then beg their ass off. We demand what we want. Blacks have petitioned for freedom and equality, but never demanded quid pro quo compensation for their political loyalty, labor, patriotism, or cultural contributions. POWERNOMICS urges Black voters to begin to move towards the politics of patronage for the entire race and not just for a few visible Blacks. The practice of political patronage rarely, if ever, presents a problem for non-Black groups, because most politicians and political parties understand that they have to reward their supporters. Everybody understand they got to reward Black American shit. Nope. Both Black and white candidates for public office, various political parties, and this nation all get a free ride with Black voters. Black voters are led to believe that there are two purposes to vote. Number one is to elect a white candidate who is best able to lead and control resources, or number two, to elect a Black candidate who is the most deserving of a public job and personal recognition. The most we get is personal satisfaction that the candidate we supported won. We play politics just to play. Other people play for the benefits of winning or being in the winner's circle. We often support campaign issues that do not even benefit us. Blackness is excluded, but we hope that through some miraculous twinge of conscience, once in office, the former candidate will offer us some spoils as supporters. We demand nothing, and that is basically exactly what we get. Nothing. We have yet to learn to play politics by the basic rules. We should stay out of any political game that promises that we will get nothing, even when our candidate wins. We should stay out of any political game that promises that we will get nothing, even when our candidate wins. Once we start playing to win, we must always reject candidates who fail to pay their debts to us. Well, is this what? I keep it in a bag. I think this is it. If it is, I'm going to show it to you when we're done with this book right here. I keep it in a bag because I don't never want to lose it. I had tore it up. Yep, that's it. I might even tape it back together for us and just stick it up on this wall right here behind me. Political accommodation is obsolete. Playing American politics based upon the needs and interests of other groups is playing politics just to play. Politics is economic Darwinism. It is rooted in selfish economic aims. Players compete to protect what they have or for further gains. Those who operate from altruistic feelings about helping everyone may play the game, but they will not win. Booker T. Washington was a pro-Black leader. Washington's greatest weakness was his dream of being the great accommodator between Black people and white people. He destroyed Black Americans' hopes of being an independent and competitive people by telling white people at the Atlanta Fair in 1896 that Black people were the most patient, faithful, law-abiding, and unresentful people that the world had ever seen. The white society rewarded Washington and Black Americans for their humble, meek, compassionate, and non-competitive attitudes by subjecting them to another goddamn 60 years of Jim Crow semi-slavery. Playing and winning in politics must be based on group self-interest and not misplaced group loyalty and faithfulness. Black America's political agenda must be just as narrow and exclusive as white politics, Jewish politics, Hispanic politics, gay politics, and women's politics. And just as other competing groups have elected officials who speak strictly for them, Black people ought to have elected officials who speak for Black people and practice the politics of gaining resources for Black people and only Black people. He said it right here. Just as other competing groups have elected officials who speak strictly for them, Black people ought to have elected officials who speak strictly for us. The issue is not about getting along socially. With more than 9,000 Black elected officials in America, we are now in a position to practice the politics of getting ahead. We 20 years late. Give or take. It might be a little less than 9,000 now. I have no idea. I don't even like politics. I ain't never been interested in it my whole life. Didn't understand it, didn't follow it. I knew a few people that was in it. But other than that, nope. I'm at a loss for it and stuff. I'm just learning about it, just like a lot of our masses are. Maybe that's how our weakest links got in there. Really wasn't for our best interest, because a lot of us didn't pay attention, wasn't really up on it, focused on politics. I know I myself, I thought that my people, after all we've been through, surely you would not get to that political pinnacle and forsake us. That was my understanding, when I was growing up and stuff. And I was a teenage mother, so I didn't have a lot of time, energy, and the educational resources and stuff to devote to it and stuff. I just didn't. I was just focused on other things. But I was sure in my mind that Black people would never let history repeat itself on us. And I was wrong. Black elected officials cannot change the status quo by creating alliances with competing groups. Alliances must be based on common objectives and common benefits. Black civil rights organizations cannot help Black Americans by subordinating Black interests and historical needs to ethnic and language groups who are higher in the order of acceptability. Several Hispanic and Korean immigrants told me that they entered this country above Black people, and they were advised even before they got here to avoid association with Black people. Ethnic immigrants know Black people were slaves, but they do not understand the legacies of slavery that still handicap Black people. What they do understand, though, is that regardless of how long they may fall, they will never, ever sink as low as Black people. Black Americans' humble, non-competitive attitude toward politics and business reinforce the popular image of Black people as weak and undemanding, and allow other people to come and take advantage of them. As the farmer said when asked how he planned to get his crops to market, it's easy. The willingest jackass will have to pull the heaviest load. For centuries, Black Americans have been the willingest jackass in American politics. Now that role must change. The new Black political orientation. The new Black political orientation must be practicing the politics of gaining resources rather than the politics of morality and establishing civil rights. Those who own and control resources have both rights and might. Therefore, based upon our own group self-interest, we should use the political process to redistribute America's resources, redress historical injustices committed against Black people, and improve the socioeconomic conditions within Black communities so that Black people can have functional communities in which to work and live. We could greatly benefit from practicing group economics predicated on group-based advantages that help us own and control wealth, land, businesses, and other resources. Listed below are 12 action steps or strategies to play the game and to create political conditions for economic success for Black Americans. The answer's in this book. The answer's in this book right here. On a political level, we got to keep the fight. We got to support the fight for reparations. Black America, our people have fought this fight, been fighting this demand for reparations. We know why. I know why now. I understand exactly why our people have not given up the fight for reparations, and we can't give it up either. If for nothing else, your ass owe our ancestors your vote for reparations. You owe them your voice and your vote for reparations. Whether you decide to honor them is up to you. It's up to you where your loyalty stands at. But yeah, we got to get in on this fight. We must support us for this. This is our last opportunity, y'all, in case you didn't know. The New World Order finna wipe all of this out right here. Yeah, this is your last opportunity, your last chance to finally stand up for your ancestors. Because this cashless society, the new currency, this digital currency, white people are going to tell you, I don't know when. Could be before they tell you you're re-enslaved, or it could be after. But they're going to tell you that this new currency voids all demands, all talk, all studies, all critiques for reparation. It voids it. That currency, this digital currency, has nothing whatsoever to do with reparations. That's what they're going to tell you, Black America. So before that shit hit the fan, your ass better speak up. You better step up and support your people. Be loyal to your ancestors. Yep. The new Black political orientation. The new Black political orientation must be practicing the politics of gaining resources rather than the politics of morality and establishing civil rights. Yeah. We got to do this to gain resources rather than the politics of morality and establishing civil rights. Everybody been using your civil rights. Those who own and control resources have both rights and mights. Therefore, yeah, we already read this, didn't we? But we're going to read it again. Therefore, based upon our own group self-interest, we should use the political process to redistribute America's resources, redress historical injustices committed against Black people, and improve the socio-economic conditions within Black communities so that Black people can have functional communities in which to work and live. You know what that means? This right here is never going away. You won't ever be able to get rid of this. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens in this country, what happens in the world, what happens globally. You, Black America, you, white America, will never escape this. This will be first, foremost, and finally. It will be until this debt is paid. This will be deserved payment, paid in full, plus interest. No matter what happens, my ancestors will not be ignored any longer, anymore. No, Babylon must fall, and she will fall. Whether she gets up or not, it depends on what you do. Yeah, so Black America, we already know. White America, they trying to take it to the grave, and they want to live forever as a robot. Yeah, a robot in your body. That's what they want to do. They don't ever have any plans of addressing this, repairing this, making reparations, repenting for this. So you need to prepare for you and your household and get out the way. Just prepare for you and your household and get out the way. And just because we not out protesting, I got to say for me, I already done been out protesting, marching and shit. I'm not trying to do that goddamn bullshit no more. Fuck that. And everybody else that is out there and doing, tell their ass to make sure y'all got some protection on, some protective gear. Put your helmet on. Get your elbow knee pads. Get your vest on. So when they get to shooting at your asses and stuff, it won't break through your skin and fuck around and puncture your lung or some shit like that. But for me, Black America, where we turn the tide and put all our energy and effort, it's got to be with the pen and the paper, Black America. It's got to be with the pen. That's how we fight it this time. You ain't got to go out there on the streets for nothing. Set your ass down. We got to sit down. We got to learn. We got to start critiquing. I don't care if you got to do it repetitiously. I have to do stuff over and over and over again before my mind actually can comprehend it. But we got to fight this with the pen and the paper now. We got to. Ain't no other choice. And yeah, we're doing this right here so we can own and control wealth, land, businesses, and other resources. Listed below, these are the 12 action steps or strategies to play the game and to create political conditions for economic success for Black Americans. Political action step number one. Political action step number one. Promote group self-interest and use political acts to empower Black America. Ooh-wee. Promote group self-interest and use political acts to empower Black America. In any racial contest, a group that has no self-interest cannot successfully compete or win. Black Americans are inextricably bound together by many forces and factors. The presence of racism, African heritage, slavery, emancipation, integration, and overall victimization. Yet, as a race, we continue to promote the political agenda of the majority society and its ethnic subgroups rather than our own political agenda. We can neither compete nor win as integrated do-gooders. Oh, I don't know why it took so long for our most brilliant minds to sit there and not even tell us that they wasting our goddamn time. That we wasting our time. Racial solidarity is a prerequisite for political empowerment and group-based competitiveness. Black America should prioritize and commit to taking care of itself before seeking to take care of the world. Black America should prioritize and commit to taking care of itself before seeking to take care of the world. Carter G. Woodson, in his 1936 book, The Miseducation of the Negro, urged Black people to support their own people first. He said there was nothing wrong with Blacks being kind, being generous, concerning, and forgiving and compassionate towards all people. But begin with your own people first. Over a half century later, we still ain't learned to place our own group self-interest first. As long as other groups remain primarily interested in their respective groups and placing their interests first, Black America must be equally as protective and interested in our own group. Some Blacks may perceive any move toward group self-interest as a move towards separation or hate. Some Blacks may perceive any move towards group self-interest as a move towards separation or hate. America's Black overclass, the Black elected officials, your Black ministers and Black business leaders, your Black civil rights representatives, and your Black celebrities are particularly susceptible to this kind of thinking. They fail to understand that directing their resources to aid their own people is normal and it's natural. I mean, think about it. All of our elected officials, all of our ministers, all of our business leaders, the Blacks, all of our Black civil rights representatives and our Black celebrities, they think that when you talking like this, you talking about getting away from white folks. Their heart gets so fearful when they think that, oh my God, not be around white folks. I can't welcome them no more. I can't be around them no more. I can't help them no more. That's the fear that they have. That's the fear. What is it? Oh, good day, my sister. We had a political party before, and we had our own banks, our own neighborhoods, and everything, our own police officers. And they started on fire and blew us up, tore everything down, and killed all that they could. Haters, jealous, inferior complex, greed, separate, and conquer. Yep. And we got to get it again. Where the fear? We can't be afraid of this. Not now. You at the end, you done survived everything. It's time to get your own political party for yourself. Dr. Claud Anderson was not lying about that. I know we have some controversies and some conflicts with a lot of our greatest minds and some things that we see, think, perceive, or believe that they did or said, but it's still the message that we must still adhere to and you know, gain some clarity from. It's still the message, because he's still just a man. I'm still just a woman. Dr. Martin Luther King was still just a man. It's the message. Even though, you know, he gave us the truthful message at the end. That's the message we should have been adhering to and taking heed from. I'm just saying, in my opinion. Because it's not all like it's cracked up to be and stuff, you know. But this fear that we won't be able to socialize and be with white folks, we got to get rid of that fear. We should be wanting to be with each other more than we fearing being without white folks. Ain't that fucked up? You're most scared of a life without white folks in it. Just walking up in your house, ain't even knocked on the door. Getting up, going in your refrigerator and shit. Get up and go in there and fix them a bologna sandwich if they want to. Ain't brought you damn back or your baby. But we so fearful of losing that than we are of loving and seeing the benefits and the love and the embracing in our own people. Yep. But it's natural. A move towards group self-interest would signal a maturation and a readiness to practice group economics and group politics. The pursuit of empowerment is more about self-interest than high-minded principles. The pursuit of empowerment is more about self-interest than high-minded principles. Politics based upon turning the other cheek and forming coalitions with rival class, ethnic, and language groups is ultimately doomed to failure. For Black people, races are won by getting ahead, not helping other participants gain competitive advantages. Believing that God helps those who help themselves, European immigrants built competitive communities, businesses, and political organizations around the needs, the interests, and the goals of their own people. Believing that God helps those who help themselves, the European immigrants, they built competitive communities, businesses, and political organizations around the needs, the interests, and the goals of their own people. Subsequent non-European ethnic immigrants, religious and gender groups did the same thing. But in nearly every instance, every single one of them, all of these groups established barriers to exclude Black people. Once they did it, your Black ass out. You can't come. No, you can't come. You can't join. I remember reading a few years ago, about maybe 7 years ago, Black people wanted to get into the country clubs so bad. The white folks country clubs wanted to get into them so bad. Black people, honey, were paying all these excessive, outlandish rates and stuff just to get in the country club. Yep, just to get in the country club. Before they even allowed you your presence in the country club, you had to jump through hoops just to get in it. And then when you get in it, you're subjected to all this racial trauma and outcasting. It's foolishness. A bunch of goddamn foolishness. Y'all ain't gonna make me no motherfucking fool and a dummy. Show the fuck ain't. Representing all the people. Only Black people will represent the universe and use non-specific organizational titles that avoid identification with their own people. Yep. Only Black people will represent the universe and use non-specific organizational titles that avoid identification with their own people. You know he gonna break it down. The NAACP represents the civil rights interests of colored people and minorities, white people, poor white people. The National Urban League represents the welfare of poor people and the multicultural, poor white people again. The Rainbow Coalition represents women, people of the rainbow, and poor white people again. And the Nation of Islam is moving to represent all oppressed people. Who then is representing the political interests of Black Americans? That's how I broke my glasses the last time. But I be damn. Y'all asses didn't know. Now you do. Look, it's saying it right here. The National Urban League represents the welfare of poor people and the multicultural, and pro-white people too. The Rainbow Coalition represents women, people of the rainbow, and pro-white people. The Nation of Islam is moving to represent all oppressed people. The NAACP is representing the civil rights interests of colored people and minorities, pro-white people. Pro-white people. You see what you did, Black America? You see what they did to us? Yeah, everybody ought to be. I hope you're ready for this black political party. I damn sure hope your ass ready for it, because I am. Put your voice and your vote where you claim your fight at. You claim your fight at the 92%. We going for our own political party now. Somebody say why not. Say it. Tell me why not. I want to know, how come not now? Hell, you gonna fuck around where they talking about they want Trumpston, or whoever that man is, to be the last president. I'm just like, who the fuck? What the fuck are these people? An exchange on the National Public Radio program in 1998 provides a good example of the irrelevance and vulnerability of Black groups that do not have Black issues as a focus and priority. The National Public Radio, ain't it them and the PBS, public broadcasting system, that they trying to get rid of? I'm just saying because I read it here, but let's read. A very high official of one of the oldest Black civil rights organizations described it as one that has always had civil rights at its core, but recognized that in a change in America, Black civil rights cannot be the organization's sole focus. Well, who was he? He was a very high official, one of the oldest Black civil rights organizations. He said this. He said, there are new non-white minorities, people of color, who are demanding a place in the sun. And even though their agenda is not totally like Black people, we must be prepared to embrace them. Why? We must be prepared to embrace them. He spoke too about the long history of extensive white involvement in the organization, and that it must fight for all people of color, such as Blacks, Asians and Hispanics, women, senior citizens, homosexuals, and even poor white people. An Hispanic caller named Mike, however, took issue with the Black leader. And Mike is Hispanic. Mike asserted that Hispanics were not people of color, and he requested that the organization not include Hispanics when it spoke of representing people of color. Mike went on to say that he, his family, and all of his Hispanic friends was white, honey. And they did not want or need the Black organization to represent them. He said Hispanics and Asians have their own organizations. So why don't Black people just look out for their own people? The Black leader challenged the caller to look in the mirror and on his driver's license and tell him what he said, what he saw. When the Hispanic caller said, white, I see white, the official of the Black organizations responded, so we do represent you. White as a color too. Given the dire needs of Black Americans, the question is clearly, is it appropriate behavior for a premier civil rights organization to force itself on people who do not want or need its help while Black Americans go begging? Is it appropriate for a premier civil rights organization to force itself on people who don't want or don't need their help while we Black Americans go begging? You can see it in our eyes. Our determined but misdirected compassion is one of our greatest impediments to self-empowerment. We fail to concentrate our resources to empower Black Americans. How can Black Americans acquire collective wealth and power resources when our lead organizations dissipate our limited resources on civil rights for everybody? A study of material from a number of ethnic, language, religious, and gender minority organizations revealed that none of these groups included Black people in their programs, that include Black people in their policies or their activities. In his book, Winning Back America, Winning Back America, Mark Green listed all the nation's top minority rights organizations In his book, Winning Back America, Mark Green listed all the nation's top minority rights organizations, and the only groups that even used the word minority in their program descriptions were the Black civil rights organizations. Yep, we're going to wrap this up real soon. This is my last one right here. Because this chapter 7, you know, these some long chapters. We ain't going to finish them all in one reading. Maybe I should, chapter 7. Just read chapter 7 on a day where I ain't got nothing to do. Because that's where the key is. Know your competitors. Oh, wait a minute. I'm ahead of myself. Ignoring Black people's dilemma by equating them to all so-called aggrieved groups is wrong-headed. It's wrong-headed. It's wrong-headed whether it is done by white people, Black people, or other people. Not only does it give the false impression that all people in this nation have had the same experiences as Black people, it also injures and minimizes the impact of centuries of slavery, segregation, and ongoing racism. Worse, it releases white society from its obligations to correct the conditions imposed on Black people. Organizations whose agendas have evolved into this kind of scattered focus do not put group self-interest first. However, just as their missions become amorphous over the years, they can regroup, reassess their organizational direction, and change once again. If they choose to be a part of the effort to maximize Black self-sufficiency and Black economic competitiveness, they can refocus their missions to promote and support Black group self-interest and political empowerment. And that's what our organizations did. They evolved into that kind of scattered focus that didn't put our group self-interest first. And now we got to start from the bottom. We got to start from the bottom. However, those groups can reassess their organizational direction, and they can change it, but that's just would they want to? Do you think literally, honestly, sincerely, and morally that the NAACP, the Urban League, the Nation of Islam will redirect and reassess their focus for us only? Because I don't. I don't. But it says right here, if they choose to be a part of the effort to maximize Black self-sufficiency and Black economic competitiveness, they can refocus their missions to promote and to support Black group self-interest and political empowerment. And I'm going to go ahead. This right here is just the last one to political action step number 1. Know your competitors. To promote its own self-interest, a group should only select for allies those who will support the group and will not benefit from its demise. There's an orchestrated effort to avoid Black issues and to supplant them with Hispanics and other minorities. In 1972, the National Hispanic Party conceived a plan to subordinate Black Americans by the year 2000 by bringing in a layer of minority ethnic groups between white people and Black people. The Hispanic empowerment strategy is to track and copy everything that Black Americans do politically and economically, then offer Hispanics as a more socially acceptable alternative to Black. Wow. So see, they copied everything your ass do politically and economically and made it work for them. Like Asian, Arab, European, gay, handicap, and women's organizations, Hispanic organizations do not promote a Black agenda, nor do they equate Black and Hispanic interests. Hispanics and other so-called minorities are competing against Black people. Whether the black overclass know it or not, y'all smart, intelligent ass that you met them political pinnacles and you didn't even know that they were competing against black people, but you set your ass up there like you knew everything. Some Hispanic groups are even more competitive and freely state their intent to totally displace black people on the American agenda. In the spring of 1997, C-SPAN aired conference sessions for the Council of La Raza. Several speakers spoke openly and emphatically about how Hispanics would change the issues in this country from black to white and Hispanic. Yep. They changed the issues in this country from black and white issues to white and Hispanic issues. The number of Hispanics in the United States tripled between 1970 and 1990, and it will surpass the black population by 2002. While Hispanics prepare to celebrate becoming the nation's minority, this nation's majority minority population, there's little public discussion on the socioeconomic impact on black Americans. In a society that maintains a racial hierarchy, discord can be expected as groups compete for resources, especially if one group is shackled by harmful legacies. Author Michael Lynn, in his book, The Next American Nation, spoke of how Hispanics inherited affirmative action and other programs that were originally designed to help black Americans because black leadership failed to protest it. Michael Lynn said, one by one, Hispanic mayors will replace black mayors. Hispanic contractors will edge out black contractors. Hispanic quotas in education and hiring will increase. Hispanics will demand their own congressional districts at the price, if necessary, at the price of the destruction of black majority districts. Lynn expressed amazement that black leaders would allow white women and ethnic minorities to replace blacks. He wondered what black civil rights leaders would have said in the 1960s had they known that within one generation, the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action and other civil rights initiatives would be well-to-do white women, Asians, and Hispanics. Most of these Hispanics are classified as whites and lived in Mexico. They lived in Cuba, Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala for decades after the end of the civil rights movement. Yet, they now displace black people. How do today's black leaders justify their active role in helping women, Hispanics, Asians, and other immigrants capitalize on black issues, then edge out and subordinate blacks? How? Y'all black leaders, your black caucus, your motherfucking sellouts. Yeah, I know about them either, but we read something the last reading or two that the black caucus sold y'all out, sold us out. Y'all motherfuckers, how the fuck can y'all even sleep at night? I mean, damn. Every last one of y'all goddamn asses need to retire tonight. You need to write up your letter tonight and motherfucking retire because you ain't no good. Go ahead and do the right thing. Whoever you know in your district that's sincere, they honest, all you got to do is teach them the ropes. Let them step up so they can do the right thing and help your people in your district where you at, because your bitch ass ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing but sit up there and sacrifice your own people. Y'all some motherfuckers. Y'all ass ain't shit. Do the right thing. That's all you gotta do. Do the right thing. I ain't mad at you, but I ain't gonna sugarcoat how I feel about y'all either. Because you've been up there all this time. Now you done helped to railroad black America. Your people, your nieces and nephews that's growing up. Them little babies you got at home and stuff, you done sat there and helped railroad them babies into this life of this bullshit ass existence that don't even make sense. The Jetsons was supposed to be a cartoon. Fifth Element was supposed to be a movie. Y'all motherfuckers done sit up there and let white America have their way. Ooh, just Yeah, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Your ass, you done got enough luxury and laughs and being posh and pampered. You done got enough of that. Everybody in the country know who your ass is. A goddamn sellout. A motherfucking sellout. You done got your fame and your little so-called fortune. Now get your ass up and let somebody else sit down. Go find them then and let them know, yeah, I think you would be the perfect one. You will be the perfect one for this position right here. Baby, I'll be retired next year. Somebody gonna need to sit right here in this seat and look out for black people. Do the right goddamn thing. Do the right thing for your people for once in your miserable sellout life. But I'm finna go. I just want you to have a little gratitude. Let's get us a little gratitude and a song, okay? Gratitude, y'all. Gratitude, honey, is the best thing going for you, Black America, right now. This black moon, honey, this red life will never be the same. Again, I always learn, make it a normal part of your life, keeping you some gratitude with you. Keeping you some gratitude with you so gratitude can open you up. You could be able to use your discernment. You won't be having that paralysis of analysis like Dr. Ray Hagen's be telling us about and stuff. You'll be able to have common sense. You'll be able to follow your gut instinct. You'll pay attention when your gut telling you, don't you go down that dark alley. You'll be able to pay attention to that and take heed to it. So what you got to walk the long way around? You following your first instinct. But yeah, let's get it. Gratitude. Gratitude shields you from negativity. Gratitude makes you at least 25% happier. Don't be sitting in depression. You're scared. You're worried. You're so concerned. You don't know what to do. Honey, get a little gratitude. Get a little gratitude in you. As soon as you start feeling a little better, keep that gratitude going. You got to be like a bike with that gratitude or you're going to fall off. Keep your gratitude going, honey, so you can lift yourself up. You lift yourself up. You don't need nobody to come around you and tell you that you're beautiful, you're smart, you're so nice and kind. They like your outfit and all this and that, all that superficial ass bullshit. Give it to yourself instead so you can lift yourself up and start doing the work that you need to do in this society today for your people. For your people now. I'm just saying. Gratitude rewires your brain. It eliminates stress and it heals you. Gratitude improves your sleep. Gratitude boosts your self-esteem and your performance. It enhances the law of attraction because what you want, what you desire in your heart is desiring you too. I do it all the time. I see everything I'm designing. I see it coming right through the multiverse, coming to me. I see it dodging meteorites and asteroids. I see it sliding off of rainbows. It's coming to me. It's coming. It's on its way right now. I don't know when it's going to land here. I got to keep it coming, though. Soon as you stop, it stops. It's just a real slow motion at that point. But soon as you start up, honey, it's coming. It's coming. Like a meteor, you got to see it. Envision it with your mind's eye. Gratitude improves your relationship. Something as simple as being grateful to improve your relationship. What the fuck you going out buying all these clothes and shoes for? What the fuck? Don't you know how we finna come into hard times now? Ain't nobody gonna give a damn because your ass is dressed from head to toe in a dirty Louis Vuitton suit. Because we going in hard times now. Let a little gratitude be your key. Be grateful. Just be grateful. Pass it on. Why not? It ain't costing you nothing. Gratitude ain't costing you nothing. Gratitude ain't costing me nothing to let y'all know. I mean, I keep myself happy. I thought at one time too that you need other people to keep you happy, but you don't. You don't. No. You need yourself to be happy. Other people don't have nothing to do with your happiness. I'm happy to see I'm happy to see you, sister. I love you. You can see it on my face when I be walking and I see a sister. Especially if I ain't seen a black person in hours. Oh, my ancestors, you think I know you by name. I be so happy to see y'all. But I'm just saying, I'm happy to see us, but that ain't my happiness. I make me happy. I make me happy. You make yourself happy. Now, let me give you another key. Music. Music. Y'all, our music, honey, that's why they got rid of the messages. Our music had messages in it for us. That's why it resonated with us. and it just give you chill bumps. You don't know why. It was the message in the music, and it's still relevant today because we gonna use it. Singing, y'all, it heals your body. Your body reacts to singing. When you singing, that's why our songs resonated. We thought the goosebumps was just because it sound good. It resonate. We understand it. You get goosebumps also when you healing. When you're healing, we get goosebumps also. When you singing joyful, expressive songs, y'all, it can nourish your heart, balance your emotions, and uplift your spirits in your heart, honey. Just sing some songs. Even if you got to sing it back to back to back, honey, sing that song. It's for you. It's for you. This is for you. Singing helps expand the lungs, and it improves your oxygen intake. I didn't know. It was last year sometime. I went to an event with my daughter, and a lady there was giving out breathing classes. So I went to the breathing class and got on the mat and stuff and did the breathing and stuff. And now I focus on my breathing and stuff. I try to learn to breathe differently because I didn't know that it was a perceived breathing. It was a technique to breathing. What begins as a natural innate instinct when we young and stuff and we babies and we take these breaths and stuff, it's natural. But as we grow older and we experience life and traumas in life and stuff, then it affects our breathing and stuff. We no longer breathing for the benefit of our body, our organs and stuff. We just breathing to get oxygen in and oxygen out. But it's a technique to breathing. So when you singing songs, Stephanie Mills, when you singing LTD, the Commodores, when you singing Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, honey, your lungs is getting some good oxygen in them. Yes, honey. Jill Scott, when you singing them music, them songs and stuff, and you holding your breath with that long note, oh, baby, your lungs is getting so much good oxygen in it. Both of your lungs is smiling. Toe to toe. Both of your lungs is, because we need that oxygen. In my opinion, because of all this trauma we've been through. And you living like white folks. You living like white folks. You're dressing like white women. You're talking like white women. Your mannerisms is like white folks. Sister, a lot of y'all are. I don't hardly see many that we still natural. We still natural, still got our same voice. I ain't this. Yeah, your telephone voice is your every time voice now. When did that come? I talked to you last year. Your voice sounded like mine. Now when I talk to you, like, yeah, so what's going on? Where this come from? Where do this come from? Because that's not the Sheila I know. Sheila had a voice that sounded like mine. She didn't come up talking about, yeah, so we're going to go over here and we're going to make a day of it. You weren't talking like that the last time we was together. I'm just saying, Black America, we got to get back to our basics. Stop becoming this perceived notion that we want to be like white women, all docile and stuff. You stop it. Wear your own hair. Let some sunlight, some air. Get to your own hair. I'm protecting mine now. I'm protecting my hair a little bit now. I'm going to come out with some protective natures. But what happened with me, I might do a big chop again. With curling my hair and stuff, you got to use heat protectant. I know I got off track. I just want to say that because it's very important. If you're not using heat protectant on your hair, don't curl your hair. Don't flat iron your hair. Don't do nothing to it because it's going to go ahead and break it off. I'm just saying, wear your own hair. Wear your own hair. I'll cut it all back off before I put some weave in it. You might see me next week. The next read of face, what happened to you? Y'all done cut it all off again. But I'm just saying, so yeah, I'm working with some protective styles and stuff. But see, it's still mine. I'm just saying, Black America, get back to basic. Like now. It's very imperative now. Because I don't know who the next Black gonna be. Your liver, when you singing, honey, it regulates emotions like frustration, anger, and stress right on out of your liver. Why didn't they tell us that all of these emotions is accumulating in your body and stuff? Ain't nothing even wrong with you. You're full. You've been shopping. You seem happy, but that's only when you're getting stuff. You happy when you're only getting stuff. Other than that, you're depressed, you're sad, you don't want to be bothered, you're angry, you're irritable, you're isolating yourself. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? You got all this anger, frustration, stress building up in your liver. You ain't got time. You don't want to tolerate nothing and stuff. Sing a motherfucking song to yourself so you can shalate all of that out of there. So to me, it's like, damn, I just learned a couple years ago that all them pills y'all taking is accumulating in your body too. I'm just saying. And now I find out that frustration, anger, and stress is accumulating inside of you too. No wonder the only time you happy, you seem to be happy is when somebody giving your ass something. Because that's the only time you can't focus. You ain't focusing on your the anger, the frustration, the stress. When your ass got your hand open and somebody giving you something. That's wrong. Sing a song. I don't care if you got to sing that song back to back to back to back. My brothers and sisters, if you ever see this video, now you know what's wrong with sister. Hell, she ain't but 12. She ain't but 12. All this anger and frustration and stress. Teach her ass good times. Just looking out of the window. Teach her ass a song that's going to make her happy. It's going to take her out of that mindset. That song, see, that song has got multiple benefits. All of these songs that you choose to sing, I just love good times. I love good times here. And everybody know good times. I'm just saying. This is last but not least right here. Singing can strengthen your kidney energy by fostering your vocal expression. Honey, when you singing, your vocal singing, your kidneys is too. Honey, your kidneys in there. Your kidneys getting down, honey. They singing. Your whole body resonates when you sing it. Now, be mindful of the music that you're singing, the songs that you sing. I like all kind of music and stuff, you know. I love R&B. You know, I like jazz now. I listen to some radio music because I'm from the South and I know a lot of the old radio music and stuff like that. But I'm just saying for this right here, stick with your people. Where did I park my car? Stick with your people's music. Stick with smooth R&B, if you will. You know, go back to some GQ, some LTD. I think I parked way down there. Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about where I am now. I'm actually looking to move again, but I'll probably just stay here for at least a year or two. Because I don't have parking. It's not like parking on the street. But when I get home, all the parking spots are gone, so I park way down there if I have to and stuff. So that wasn't me out there. But yeah, but let's go because I'm going to go out and do some things and stuff. I didn't get me a bicycle. No, I added that to the list of preparing for whatever's to come. Everything that's coming. You know, you may not be able to get in on your car and go nowhere. You ain't got no gas and stuff. You know, you can't get in your car, but you got to get somewhere you need to be. Get your bicycle. I hear sister say it, so yeah, I'm working on getting me a bicycle. I ain't got me one, but I got two for the grandbabies. I got two of the grandbabies a bicycle. And I got to go get an inner tube and fix that up for them and stuff. I don't know. You might have to meet me halfway. Give your mama your bike because you're going to have to meet me halfway. Yeah, you need this can of milk I got over here for that baby. You better get on that bicycle and meet me halfway. Yep, because you get on your bike and head out, and I get on my bike and head out. I'm just saying, so yeah, I'm finna get me a bicycle too. And yeah, just start, you know, preparing. Start preparing. I done started with my beans and stuff that I had in my cupboards. I've started getting me some mason jars. Put your stuff in mason jars. If you got the, you know, whip up something quick with it, you can. Now, some of them mason jars, I plan on making this little ready to eat. It's ready to eat. Your grandmama and them used to make it. And it used to be in the mason jars. You put like your beans in it. Maybe some whatever vegetables you got. Some carrots. If you got carrots. Cut some potatoes up. Put some potatoes in there. Put some vinegar in it and a little olive oil in it. And put that mason top on there and close it tight. And if it ever come to be you ain't got nothing to eat, somebody hungry, them mason jar, I got some that's tall like that right there. You know, Open up one of them jars and just eat it right out the jar. If you got babies at home, little kids at home, little toddlers, Tina, hell, let me put you some on a little salsa right here. I ain't gonna give you a whole lot because you might not like it. But once you get a taste for it and stuff, and you, oh man, I'm hungry. Yeah, give me some. Then I give you a little bit more. Learn how to make bread from scratch. I'm finna do that too. You know, just to be able to have something to sustain myself. Because you don't want to be going out looking for help from other people and stuff, because they're going to have to sustain themselves and their families. You know, maybe every blue moon you can. You know, if you can't, go barter. Hey, let me give you a bag of these carrots right here. If you give me a bag of them onions over there, just give me some onions, some broccoli, and some potatoes, and I'll give you this whole bag of carrots. Barter what you got. Just barter whatever you got and stuff, whatever's at home, whatever work, just make it work for you. And, you know, hopefully we'll come out on the other side of this, you know. But I love y'all. Let me go so I can go ahead and get this inner tube for this bike right here and hopefully find me one. But, yeah, I ain't doing things. I don't have money to just go buy a brand new bicycle, you know. So I have to look at, like, thrift stores, garage sales, consignment shops, little stuff like that you see. I like them places like that. So when I be seeing them and stuff, yeah, I go ahead and go. I enjoy it too. Yeah, but I love y'all. And Lil, I love you, and it's so good to see you. And we should get together. We'll get together. I'll message you on Facebook. But I love y'all, and peace and power to the people. And think about your life and your afterlife. Now, think about your afterlife too, where you want to spend your forever and ever and ever. It's important just as well as this life is, Black America. As above, so below. You don't want to get there and spend your eternity in oppression, even though you may not know it. I mean, look at how many of us in this life don't even know we're oppressed. Had no idea about any of this. So I'm just saying, you know, it does matter. And I'll see you tonight. I think I'll go ahead and resume reading this. It's such a big book. If it do come to be that I can't read it page for page like I like to do, then I'll just pick some chapters out of it. But I ain't got no warnings. Ain't nobody said nothing yet. So I think I'll keep going like I am. But I love you, and peace and power to the people.